Hello, Homespot friends. Today, we wander into a rustic Zen garden where gravel ripples, moss banks, and weathered stones shape a calming landscape. Let this be your pocket retreat. Stay with me until the end for peaceful scenes, mindful tips, and gentle sounds to reset your day. Please watch fully. Pale gravel stretches like a quiet sea, reaching the shadowy forest edge where pines lean and listen. A single weathered boulder anchors the horizon, inviting breath to slow. Footsteps soften, and the world steadies into stillness under an enormous sky. Raked waves curve gently around stone outcrops, each line a whispered current. Moss cushions the shoreline, drinking light. We travel the perimeter slowly, tracing emptiness, noticing how space itself becomes form, and silence becomes the guide into calmer depths within. A humble gate opens on its stepping stones, their surfaces dappled with shade and memory. We follow the Roji, passing bamboo and earthen walls, moving from compression to release, until the path widens into a silent court where light collects patiently. Here, the journey becomes breath. Gravel receives our presence without judgment, and boundaries soften. Wind counts the leaves, time thins. The heart recognizes arriving, not at destination, but at attention, where the simplest textures compose a generous welcome for us. A dry river of rounded stones winds between thick moss banks, suggesting water through shape alone. We cross by a hand-hewn log bridge, hearing imagined currents. The garden invites completion by the mind, letting absence flow as vividly as presence. Ferns gather at the bends, and shadows pool in gentle eddies. Our eyes drift downstream, following the meander toward a quiet basin. In this designed remembering, tranquility moves without moving, carrying us softly into a wider, kinder attention and rest. Three islands rise from a white gravel lake, each capped with pruned pines and stone groups. Distance is borrowed gently from the surrounding trees, enlarging the horizon. Space stretches, and the garden breathes like a slow tide returning home gracefully. We circle the composition with care, watching balance shift with every step. Raked ripples hold the islands steady, and quiet gathers between them. A choreography of restraint reveals abundance, teaching the eye to savor proportion, humility, and generosity together, slowly. A rustic courtyard holds raked gravel, stacked firewood, and a timber water trough. Textures speak in voices: grain, bark, stone, and light. The scale is human, the mood elemental, reminding us that simplicity can shelter warmth without asking for attention. We settle into the square of air between walls and sky. A single lantern waits near the doorway, and the day leans quietly on the threshold. In this grounded room, usefulness and beauty share the same steady heartbeat for years. Boulder cliffs hold a crescent cove of rippled gravel, sheltering a small emptiness that feels like promise. Dwarf pines lean into the void, shaped by imaginary winds. We stand at the rim, learning to admire contour, absence, and patience together. From above, the cove opens like a hidden harbor, receiving our gaze like water receives sky. Lines sweep inward, anchoring stillness. The scene teaches gentleness with force, and how edges can protect the quiet heart of any landscape we keep. Wild grasses give way to a raked plain. The transition is deliberate, moving from lively texture to disciplined calm. A simple bench of reclaimed timber faces the open field, inviting a pause long enough to notice how quiet widens perspective. As we cross the threshold, footsteps change character, becoming measured and softer. The meadow's murmur recedes, replaced by the gentle hush of lines and light. In the unadorned center, attention becomes clear, and gratitude quietly finds a place to rest. A broken lantern, leaning posts, and lichened stones gather in soft moss, held by a cracked earthen wall. Time is the artist here, revealing beauty in wear. We approach gently, listening for stories dissolving into texture and light and shadow. Nothing tries to impress, and therefore everything does. Edges fray, colors mute, meanings deepen. The garden lets imperfection speak its fluent language of care and endurance, teaching us to honor the repairs, the pauses, and the grace within ordinary weathering. A narrow timber boardwalk draws a steady line across the level gravel, ending at a solitary standing stone. Everything else recedes. The axis invites alignment, posture, and breath, reminding us that clarity often appears when choices become beautifully limited today. We move along the boardwalk with intention, meeting the stone like a companion rather than a monument. Light pools on the planks. Shadows confirm direction. The scene becomes a walking meditation, a gentle rehearsal for attention in daily life today. A ring of bamboo forms a living room of green, filtered light falling like rain. At the center, stones compose a quiet constellation, encircled by concentric rake patterns. The world outside fades, replaced by breathing, rhythm, and spacious listening here. Overhead, culms whisper together, their music measured and soft. We step gently, respecting the circle. The composition steadies us, offering a place to recalibrate attention. Nothing demands, everything invites. The clearing becomes a sanctuary made of presence and air here. A mirror-still pond touches a simple lawn, interrupted only by a stone landing and bamboo spout. The composition holds back, letting reflection carry detail. Sky and branches share the surface, and the eye floats between worlds without effort or urgency. We stand at the landing and soften our focus, hearing water speak in small syllables. The spout measures time, not with numbers, but with patience. In this quiet exchange, we remember how to notice before we try to name anything. Stone steps climb beside a dry waterfall, rocks tumbling toward a gravel basin below. Terraces hold the slope in measured increments, turning gravity into rhythm. We descend, following the suggestion of water, learning motion from stillness and trust from design. At each landing, the view reframes the hillside, revealing continuity through change. The cascade teaches sequence, breath, and return. By the time we reach the basin, the day has softened, and we understand how guidance can be gentle, yet clear. A raised earthen platform overlooks a gravel lake and distant trees, clearing space for sky. At twilight, the horizon becomes a poem of gradients. Nothing needs to be said, everything can be felt. The terrace teaches generous looking, calm attention. We wait for the moon without urgency, as darkness gathers its edges. Silence deepens the scene, and body relaxes into belonging. In the company of distance and glow, we remember intimate scale of awe and the patience that reveals it. Bleached driftwood arcs over sand-like gravel, ribs suggesting tides and time. Clumps of hardy grasses punctuate the shore. The sea is imagined, yet present. The air moves differently here, teaching the body to widen, to measure the day by breath. We trace the driftwood lines with our steps, following their invitation across the ground. The scene feels wind-carved and generous. Less becomes more, enough. In this coastal suggestion, memory fills the horizon, and the present moment unfolds like a sail. Low mounds hold Japanese maples above a quiet gravel field, their leaves burning against pale ground. A stone bridge links the banks with modest confidence. The scene celebrates passage, color, and calm, inviting gratitude to take its time arriving fully. We look upward, down, witnessing the dialogue between canopy and earth. Raked lines catch drifting red, composing chants into pattern. With each step, season speaks in quieter tones, reminding us to keep company with change and to cherish what glows. Sparse pines, stones, and raked lines emerge under frost, the garden reduced to elegant structure. Contrast clarifies intention. We feel the tenderness of restraint as winter draws the sketch, showing how little is needed to hold depth, direction, and grace. Footprints become brief stories, then vanish. Breath clouds the air, marking time. The geometry steadies our senses, offering shelter in the lucid cold. Here, the promise of spring waits inside bone and bark, but patience is the beauty offered now. A narrow, elongated gravel court is hugged by tall plaster walls, where light enters as a moving ribbon. Shadows cross the floor like slow tides. The length invites patience, the simplicity invites trust, and walking becomes a ceremony of noticing. We follow the shifting band of brightness, understanding time through geometry. Every minute redraws the room. Silence gathers along the edges, while center learns to breathe. This courtyard refines momentum, turning motion into clarity and the day into shared kindness. Through the modest hut's frame, a vast gravel expanse opens with one distant pine. The doorway composes the world, turning view into painting. We stand at the threshold where hospitality meets horizon, and quiet becomes the deepest kind of conversation. Inside remains empty enough to receive our breath. Outside remains spacious enough to soften thought. The threshold holds both. With one step forward or back, the garden changes scale, reminding us how perspective is also practice. Learn slowly, kindly here. A spare grid of fruit trees rises from gravel, trunks wrapped in straw. Mounds anchor roots, and stones punctuate the rows. Order does not exclude tenderness. It reveals it, letting rhythm calm the eye and steady the breath in measure. We walk diagonally to feel the orchard's cadence, watching spacing become music. Seasonal blossoms or bare limbs echo the same quiet structure. Here, patience cultivates sweetness, and labor becomes ceremony, reminding us that care grows beautiful when given time, faithfully. A heavy timber gate compresses entry, framing a world still hidden. We pass beneath its weight and feel held, then released into an unbroken gravel plain. The contrast opens the lungs, and the mind discovers space where words step aside. Behind us, the gate keeps measure. Before us, the horizon keeps time. Rough hedges hold the boundary like open arms. In the broad quiet, direction becomes optional, and we learn how freedom can arrive through gentle restraint, beautifully for us. Thank you for walking these quiet paths with me. We explored raked seas, mossy banks, and humble stones shaping restful perspective. Carry that stillness into your day. If this journey soothed you, please like the video, subscribe to Homespot, and share your thoughts in the comments. It helps a lot.